Police were clear that they needed tools not held by any federal, provincial, or territorial law. It was only after we got advice from law enforcement that we invoked the Emergencies Act.
Does anyone actually think the Emergencies Act was needed at this point? Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Whether you're a staunch supporter of the Freedom Convoy or wanted them cleared off the streets on the first weekend, one thing's becoming clear at the Public Order Emergency Commission. That's the official name of the Emergencies Act Inquiry. And that thing that's becoming clear is they didn't need to invoke it. Sure, we've seen a lot of finger pointing. We've seen a lot of blame being thrown around. Politicians trying to blame police, police trying to blame politicians, politicians trying to blame each other, even an attempt to drag Ontario Premier Doug Ford into the mess. But the central question of this inquiry isn't who's to blame, it's did the Emergencies Act need to be invoked? Was there a threat to national security? Was that threat sufficient to invoke the Emergencies Act? Had other laws been used or applied? We've heard testimony from top police officers, including an intelligence officer at the OPP, saying there was no threat to national security. But perhaps the most damning statement comes from RCMP Commissioner Brenda Lucki. In an email sent just after midnight in the early morning hours of February 14th, Lucki said this to the Chief of Staff to Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino. I am of the view that we have not exhausted all available tools that are already available through existing legislation. There are instances where charges could be laid under existing authority for various criminal code offenses occurring right now in the context of the protest. She goes on to say the Ontario Provincial Emergencies Act, just enacted, will also help in providing additional deterrent tools to our existing toolbox. That's Commissioner Lucki. That's the top police officer in the country saying, we don't need the Emergencies Act. We have tools at our disposal that we have not used. That should tell you everything you need to know. In fact, whether it's been RCMP officers, OPP officers, or Ottawa police officers, what we've heard is that the Emergencies Act wasn't needed. Some have said, yes, we used the tools, or it gave us a nice stable environment. That was Acting Chief Steve Bell. But they all said the same thing. By the time the Emergencies Act was invoked, there was already a plan in place and it was moving ahead with or without the act. They even had tow trucks ready to go. So all of these claims used to say that the Emergencies Act needed to be called in, well, they're going up in smoke. Let's face it, the only thing that was exhausted was Justin Trudeau's patience. And that is not enough of a reason to bring in the Emergencies Act, suspend civil liberties, freeze bank accounts, and more. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.